Yes, you read that right. Visa expiration date doesn't matter as much when you are inside US. So then what matters more than the expiration date? We'll discuss in this video. But before we begin, please remember that all information I give in this video is related to the immigration system of just United States and not of any other country. So having that said, let's understand in detail. United States has two categories of visas: immigrant visa and non-immigrant visas. All visas have expiration dates. Now, what is the purpose of visa? US sees visa as mere an approval to arrive at the United States airports or shores. It does not guarantee your entry into the United States. That decision is eventually be made by the CBP officer. CBP means Custom and Border Patrol officer. Now, once you enter the United States, your visa expiration date doesn't matter as much. It actually becomes really inconsequential. At that point, it is all about your status, or it's also called your authorized stay. For instance, there are plenty of people right now in the US whose visas that they came initially on have expired, but they are still legal in the US because they have maintained their status. Let me give you an example. Let's say student visa has an expiration date of 5 years from the time it's issued. And let's say you came to US, you did your studies, you got your OPT, your work permit, and you worked there for 2-3 years, and then you again took admission into some other course, and then you were again on some work permits. So at that time, you were 7 or 8 years in United States, your visa have long expired, but by being continuously enrolled in a course or legally obtaining work permit based off of that course, you are still legal. When inside US, you must maintain your status. Visas are issued by Department of State, and your authorized stay once you enter the United States is overseen by US Department of Homeland Security. So you can see the very clear distinctions that both these things are measured, maintained, and overseen by two very different departments. Department of State take care of your entry, and Department of Homeland Security, when you enter the United States, from there on they take matters in their own hand. And once you enter the United States, it is your authorized stay, or it is your status that will decide when you should go back or remain in the United States, not your visa expiration date. For instance, someone could come on United States with a 5-year student visa, but after end of their 2-year course, if they didn't apply for work permit, they need to go back. They cannot remain there for the full 5 years that their visa has been issued, since they lost their status because they didn't apply the work permit or they didn't qualify for the work permit. So they have to go back at the end of 2 years, or they will become illegal, or also called out of status, which is a very dangerous thing. Another example is, let's say you have a visitor visa for United States, and we all know that, and by the way, whose official name is B1, B2 visa, that's the visitor or business visit visa. That visa has an expiration date of 10 years from the day it is issued. But that doesn't mean that you can stay in the United States continuously for 10 years. Upon your entry into United States, you are given an authorized stay period of 6 months or less by the CBP officials. Now, that 6 months is your authorized stay. That is your status that you have to stick to, and you cannot go by expiration date at that point. To maintain your status, you need to leave within the authorized stay period or file an extension with USCIS to extend your visit. For instance, at the end of 5.5 months, आपको कोई इंजरी हो जाती है, कोई लेग इंजरी हो जाती है, तो आप उसकी एक्सटेंशन अप्लाई करेंगे और वो आपको 4-5 महीने की एक्सटेंशन और दे देंगे, और उसके बाद हम वापस जा सकते हैं। तो आप इलीगल नहीं हुए, अपने स्टेटस की रिस्पेक्ट की, और you legally went back. So you can extend your status, or you can also adjust your status. For instance, आप विजिट करने आए, आपके पास 6 महीने का ऑथराइज्ड स्टे थी, पर आपने किस हिसाब से वो स्टूडेंट वीजे में कन्वर्ट कर लिया, तो आपका स्टेटस अभी चेंज हो जाएगा। तो अभी when you are inside US, you don't have to worry about visas. Your status will just change. The purpose of visas is slightly different. Their main focus is on your travel and re-entry. There could be situations where you have legal status in United States, but if you want to go out of United United States and get entry back, like I said, then you do need a visa. So you might need to visit the consulate again to get stamped correct visa based on your latest status. I know it gets really confusing, but that's all for today's video. There are so many topics related to this video. Let me know if you needed me to cover any. For instance, how many years of work permit do you get after you graduate? What is OPT? What is STEM OPT? How do you change status from a visit to student or from student to H-1B? So it's a whole can of worm. Let me know if you want to make video on any of those topics. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you for your time.